Hello, and thank you for watching part 2 of our awesome crash course beginner guitar lessons. This one picks up immediately where the last one left off. So if you haven't watched part 1 and you're a complete beginner, you should pretty much watch part 1. Very fast recap. Our last exercise, our last lesson, finished off with this rhythm, going from the E minor to the A minor to the C. It went from like this. Down, down, up, up, down, up. The A minor, and some of the things we were paying attention to when we were switching between one chord and another, our fingers were coming off and this flow wasn't changing. Down, this was an off and then landing in our position again. And then when we were going from our A minor to our C, our ring finger would come off on the last up, down, down, up, down, up, and this would be off, and then landing here with a C chord. Down, down, up. Off to the E minor, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one more thing, with the C, we were kind of muting this 6th string, so it wasn't making sound. I also taught how to read some chord diagrams. So this lesson is going to jump into a little bit more difficult chords. Right away we're going to play this G chord. We're going to play it like this. You know, some people say, oh, I play it like this or this. There's a reason why we're playing it like this. I'm playing like this right now because we want to keep this finger here, this ring finger, on this particular note, the 2nd string, 3rd fret, at all times. So here is how the chord is. Take our middle finger, our 2nd finger, and put it on the 6th string, 3rd fret. Our 1st finger, 5th string, 2nd fret. Our ring finger, 2nd string, 3rd fret. And our pinky, 1st string, 3rd fret. And this is our chord. Okay, it's called the G chord. And if it doesn't sound great right now, it's okay. You know, you play through it, you just keep on pushing, and eventually it's going to sound good. Just right now, ignore the buzzy or the bad sound it might have. Just make sure you have it in the right position and play through it and just do your best. You'll learn quicker if you ignore the buzzing sound and you don't worry too much about the tone and you just play the rhythms that we're showing you. Okay, so it's going to start like this. Same rhythm. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, up. Okay? We're going to do this for a while on the G, and then when we want to change, we're going to take these 2 fingers off, and we're going to just land down a string. So it's going to go like this: down, down, up. For now, down, down, up, down, off, 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 down, up, down, off, down, down, up. Now, when we take them off, we're going to land down a string, so it's going to sound like this. Down, down, up, down, off, down, down, up, down, off, down. We can leave them on. Really, we're only going to take them off before we change. Back up. Our G chord, down a string. This chord is called a C add 9. Back up to our G. Now this is the beginning or part of so many songs already. And back up. Okay, and stop. The next chord we're going to show you is a tricky. These are all kind of tricky in their own way, but this one is tricky because it's kind of a big change from the other chords. But it's a very important chord, so we're going to learn it. Put our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and our 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So it's going to sound like this. And these two, technically, you shouldn't be playing. Sometimes it's hard if you're getting into it. But see, this note here sounds pretty bad with this note. Because they clash. That's the note, it's an E, and this chord is actually called a D. An E and a D don't really mix. You could kind of mute this with your thumb. Not sure if I recommend that, but a lot of people do that. If your two choices are mute this with your thumb, or don't mute this with your thumb and play that like that, then of course mute it with your thumb. But if you can, it's probably better to develop a bit of finesse and just kind of miss these two strings and practice that. And then if you can learn it pretty well, you can consistently miss these strings, or at least a lot of the time, while playing this D chord. So we're going to look at the D chord. You can let your fingers rest for a moment. And we're going to see that the difference between this and the other chords we just played, the G and the C add 9, is these two fingers, and of course the pinky. This finger is going to remain here as a pivot chord. So for now, let's just practice moving between the C add 9 and the D. We're going to take this finger off and put it back on, just for now. Okay, now leave it on. Let's take these two off. Okay. Now we're going to try this. These two off, and move them down at the same time, and then land here and here at the same time as this finger comes off. Okay? And just take some time getting used to this change. Now we're going to go back up. We're going to go like this. Into the G. Okay? C add 9. Off. Land. Off with your pinky. Off. And then G. Okay, again. C add 9. Two fingers off, strum, land with your two fingers, off with your pinky, off with all of them except your third finger, and then land on the G. Okay? Again. Two more. Last one. You can choose whether or not you want to practice this technique over and over, or just jump into the next part and if you struggle with the next part, which is also fine, and practice that over and over until you get it. It's your own choice what you want to practice, but you're going to need to practice something. This isn't going to be easy. Okay, so we're going to go from the G two times. Down, down, up, up, down, up. The last time we're going to take these two fingers off on the last up. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, and then land down a string and kind of mute this string with this finger as you do this. And if you're going to mute this, it actually makes it easier because it's going to put this finger a little bit further away from the string below. So again, back to the G. Down, down, up, down, up, down. Down to the C add 9. And back up to the G. Okay, now the progression we're going to practice is two times with the G, one time with the C add 9, and one time with the D. So it's going to sound like this. Okay? Again, down, down. off, C add 9, off, D, back up to the G, C add 9. So this is the beginnings of a popular Green Day song from the past called Time of Your Life, and it's faster, but it sounds similar. It's like, but it's a great song for beginners. Some very important chords, and this rhythm, which is very important as well. Okay, and after that, in the song, just to complete the song, it goes to E minor, down, down one time, to the D one time, to the C add 9 one time, to the G one time. Okay, we're gonna practice those 4 chords in a row like 10 times. Here we go. E minor, D, C add 9, G, E minor, D, C add 9, G, again, E minor, B, C add 9, G. Okay, moving on 10, let's do 2 more. Last one. So now, as I'm switching between each chord, I'm kind of taking my fingers off where I need to. Down, down, up, down, off, down, down, off, but I'm leaving this finger here. Down, down, up, down, off, and now just taking these 2 and moving them up. Down, down, up. Now, if you need to pause that and rewind that, now's the time. The remainder of this song, the chorus of the song, so it does twice of that progression, E minor to D to C add 9 to G, 2 times. And then it goes E minor to G, to E minor to G. Okay, so after that progression, after in the chorus again, E minor, D, C add 9, G. E minor, D, and then twice with the E minor, sorry, once with the E minor, once with the G, again, now to the D, and then return to the beginning of the song. And play it a bit faster, so it makes sense. I'm gonna start. Whatever. I'm not gonna sing it. Okay, the chorus. E minor, D, C, G. E minor, D, C add 9, G. E minor, E minor, G, E minor, D, beginning. G, C, D. Okay, by now you should know enough to be able to read chord diagrams. You could go online and download any chord diagram sheet you want. You could memorize a bunch of chords. You could go online and find a bunch of songs, and it might say capo, C-A-P-O. If there's a capo, I don't have one here. I mean, I have one, but not near me. It's this thing that you clamp onto your guitar neck, and you can move these chords you're learning up and down and play the song in the correct key or pitch that it should be played in. Or if you want to adjust the pitch, then do that, and you'll be able to you know what, let me find the capo. Okay, wasn't that hard to find. This is a capo. Of course, there's different styles and different brands. What you do is you place this on one of the frets. So if you download some chord charts from the internet, and it's very easy, just type in the name of the song you want, space, chord, or chords, and you'll find the chord chart for it. It's usually very easy to read, has the lyrics, the letter names over top of it. You just got to learn more chords, record diagrams. At the end of this video, I'm just going to put a sheet with a whole bunch of chord diagrams on it, but of course they're very easy to find. And now, but when you're looking at these songs, a lot of them will say capo, capo 1 fret or 1st fret, or capo 2, capo 3. For example, if it says capo 3, then you go to the 3rd fret, you put this capo right across and put it kind of close to the fret. Now I can play the same chord shapes, for example a G here, and this, my G now sounds higher. So if I can play the same song that we just learned with my capo on the 3rd fret, and we use the same distance, so now this is our 3rd fret. This is in place of this line. So I move the exact same thing up here. Now I can play the song higher if I want to sing it higher. Of course, I would never want to sing the song higher, it's already too high. But there's other scenarios. Okay, so that's the capo. I personally don't use it too much, but it's very useful for beginner singer guitar players, and well, for pretty much most guitar players. Okay, thank you for this watching this lesson. Please like our page. If you got to the end of this video, then really hope by now you subscribe. It probably also means you are enjoying this teaching style. So, you know, I'm going to record part 3 right now. But spend some time learning this, what I just taught you, and then we'll move on to part 3. It's more difficult. It's about a bar chord, but I do believe you should be learning bar chords at an early stage because it takes a while for your fingers to stretch and be able to play them well. So get through the struggle at the beginning when you're motivated to learn and try hard, so then later you'll be less frustrated when you're struggling with them, which you will. Thank you. Have an awesome day.